The climate data is in now for 2016, and it confirms that it is the 19th year in a row in which there was no significant global warming. Temperatures are essentially the same now as they were in 1998. At the beginning of the year, it looked like they were going to be materially hotter because there was an El Nino on the West Coast. But it turned out that after the El Nino, temperatures plunged dramatically and offset the higher temperatures then. Temperatures in the Arctic ice cap are constant at 20 degrees below 0 centigrade, and there is no significant shrinkage of the ice cap taking place. What's going on here? Well, until 1997, there was significant global warming. Temperatures rose, and when Al Gore was issuing his prophecies and writing his book and winning the Nobel Prize, there seemed to be a real threat emerging from global warming and climate change. But part of that was based not on actual data, but on predictions of what would happen in the future. And the key scientific mistake was that the climate scientists predicting disaster said that water vapor itself would become a greenhouse gas. In other words, you put carbon in the atmosphere and all that stuff, and that blocks the sun's rays and traps heat in the earth and causes temperatures to rise and all of that. But that in addition, the rising temperatures would in effect boil water and cause more water vapor, and that the water vapor itself would be a greenhouse gas. So the one would cause the other in a never-ending cycle. But it didn't happen. The data of the last 19 years is flat. It didn't happen. It was theoretically conceivable, and it certainly makes a certain amount of sense, but it didn't happen. So it's very important for us to understand that while who knows what the future will bring, there is no evidence now of significant global warming. And how many times the administration under Obama kept repeating that those who deny it are anti-science or climate change deniers and so on is absolute nonsense. Now, why is the left pushing it this much? Because they want an excuse to regulate industry throughout the world. They want an excuse for global planning and, in effect, for socialism. Friedrich Hayek, in The Road to Serfdom, one of the Bibles of the conservative movement, describes how the forces of socialism and internationalism will try to exploit crises that can only be addressed on a global level, and that will foster the erosion of national sovereignty and move toward one world, which the socialists want. But they couldn't pull it off without the cooperation of the less developed countries, the third world. What's in it for them? One of the core demands of the climate change advocates, the Greens, is that a massive fund be created to compensate third world countries for the fact that they can't have the same development trajectory the first and second world did because of constraints on carbon emissions, and because they can't pollute the atmosphere like the US and Europe and Russia did as they were coming up industrially. They're entitled to compensation. And this compensation goes right into the pockets of third world dictators and their Swiss bank accounts. Hillary pledged to contribute $100 billion to the fund. Trump thankfully killed that in one of his first acts as president. But that's what's behind it, and that's the motivation. So circulate this one around, okay? So we can get the truth out. Thanks for watching.